Hi everyone, this is Shanna from Imperfect Homemakers, and I am coming to you today to talk about what I find to be essential in having a newborn. I'm on my third and last daughter, and it's very important. Last. She's my last. Anyway, I have most of my stuff sitting right here. I'm kind of just going to go in order of as I grab it, so it might not be in like feeding versus swaddling kind of order. It's just kind of going to be what I pick up. The couple things that I don't have here, the first one is my bassinet. She's sleeping beside my bed in a bassinet right now. I've really enjoyed it. I bought it because it had a couple features. I knew I was going to have a C-section, and it has the side that like pulls down, like squishes down when you go to get her out. It's adjustable. It comes closer to you. You can push it farther away when she's being grunty and noisy. And I also bought it because it had the vibration feature. And babies really enjoy vibrating. They say that's because the umbilical cord inside vibrates as blood rushes through it. So they kind of always feel that vibration while they're in there. So it's very comforting to them. That being said, I did all this research, made sure I got one that vibrated, and then 2 weeks into when I had her, the vibration went out on the bassinet. So I did some research and I found this. It's called the Lulla Vibe by Munchkit. Too big, Munchkit. I don't think I can do that. Focus, camera. Okay. Anyway, it's by Munchkit, and it's just a squishy vibration pad. It's intended to slide under your crib mattress to make your whole crib vibrate. Obviously, if you're just using a crib in your room or you're using a crib in their room, it's not going to have a vibration feature to it. And that might make it difficult for babies to sleep to start with when they're newborns. The other thing I don't have in here is her car seat. I have two different kinds. I have the Britax Marathon in my truck, and I have the Combi Kuroko in my husband's Subaru Impreza, because we have 3 across, and I had to do a lot of research on how to fit safely 3 across in that car. So that's what we have in there. It was nicely donated to me, or bought for me by my grandparents. So I have been appreciating that. It's a very nice car seat. It's a little bit different to install than what I'm used to, but it's not hard. So I've enjoyed that. I don't use the little baby capsules. I have 3 kids, and I just can't. I have to have my hands free. So when we go into stores, or we go on a walk, or we go into church, or we go wherever we're going, I have my wrap, my baby wearing wrap. This one is made like a Moby, but it's called an Acrobros. Yeah. I really enjoy the Moby style wrap. There's all different kinds of wraps. I've only ever used that kind. Once you get the hang of tying it, it's not that difficult, but you do have to get the hang of tying it. So she very much enjoys that. She falls asleep every time she's in it because she's right up against me and she's comforted and she enjoys it. So I do that. That's why I don't use the capsules, because then my hands are free. Another way that I keep my hands free, because that's very important with 3 kids, is this diaper bag when I'm going into places. I chose to do a diaper backpack this time instead of the normal diaper bag. This one is from Amazon. It's called a Babbleroo. Yes, I still have the tags on it even though she's 3 months old. it has a lot of different pockets and features. It comes with a changing pad for going into places, and it's been really nice. I've enjoyed that a lot, far more than I ever enjoyed having to sling a diaper bag over my shoulder and it's falling off when I'm trying to carry a kid or hold somebody's hand or just put it on the backpack and go. So that's been very nice. Another newborn essential for me is a Swaddle. Now, some babies really like to be swaddled and some don't. My first daughter, she liked it, but she wasn't like thrilled with it. My second daughter hated it. Nope, no swaddles at all for her. My third daughter, the one I'm currently on, loved being swaddled, could only sleep when she was swaddled. She's too old for a swaddle now. We use the Zippity Zip now, but it didn't really matter what kind of swaddle. I mean, I could just do the easy Velcro swaddle. I could do the Aidenanias muslin swaddles, just wrap her up in that. She just enjoyed being swaddled, and I find that pretty essential when you want the baby to sleep as much as they can, because then you can sleep as much as you can. I really like these Aidenanias muslin swaddles. It doesn't really matter if it's Aidenanias, as long as it's one of those really giant muslin swaddles. I do a lot of stuff with these. I lay them out on the floor to lay the baby down whenever I'm at somebody's house or even my house, or I lay it on my bed to lay her on, or when I'm out in public, they tend to be my breastfeeding cover. Obviously it's just a blanket. You can keep them warm with it. You can cover the car seats. You can cover your strollers. If you use strollers, they are just very handy to have, and I have too many of them. But we go through them quick because we use them for everything. So she spits up on them, she poops on them, she pees on them, we spill food on them, get breast milk on them, whatever it is, it happens to go through pretty quickly. Speaking of spitting up, they sell all those kind of fancy dancy burp rags, and you can use those if you choose to. What I find works best for that, though, is cloth diaper inserts. You can buy these pretty much anywhere. They are really absorbent in the middle, so I just throw them over my shoulder. Blech, sucks it all up. So I enjoy those. They do really well, and they come clean easy because they're meant to, So the next thing I have is pajamas. Newborn pajamas are pretty much all they're gonna wear. They have all those pretty cute fancy clothes, and you don't want to leave the house because everyone's sick outside of your doors. So you don't. And then they wear pajamas 24 hours of the day. At least my daughter has only worn a different kind of outfit maybe 3 times in her 3 months. If I could, I would go to Walmart and buy all of these zip pajamas. They have this, I don't know if you can see it, a thing that goes over the top of the zipper so the zipper doesn't get them. But the best part about these is that they don't zip from bottom to top. They zip from top to bottom. So the zipper stays down by their foot. In the middle of the night, you only have to unzip it about that far, take their butt out. Their top half doesn't get cold. They don't wake up as much. And then you just zip them back up. Not fumbling with all the little snaps. And they're amazing. So I intend to go to Walmart and buy like 2 or 3 in every size at least. But they're expensive, so just do them as I go. Now the next thing is about diaper changes. My kids all have really, really sensitive skin. So I have to be very careful with what kind of diapers and wipes that I use. And I like the fact that the diapers that I do use are no chlorine, they don't have all the chemicals in them, but they're still very absorbent and sturdy, because a lot of those organic ones are kind of flimsy. They are from Abby and Finn. I don't think you can see the logo on that. Abby and Finn right there. But they have all kinds of different cute designs, like 6 different cute designs, a whole bunch of different sizes. And they do a bundle subscription kind of thing. You can't get them in stores, you have to order them. They do a bundle subscription thing where you get 3 packs of diapers, which is about, when they're newborns, about 100 diapers a pack. So it's 300 diapers, and I think 3 or 4 packs of their wipes for $50 a month. If you've ever diapered, you know that that's a little expensive, but it's not. It's pretty comparable, honestly, especially with throwing wipes in there too. That being said, their wipes were good. They're pretty solid. It just took a lot of them to clean up everything. So I prefer the water wipes. And I prefer these for a couple of reasons. One, they're strong. They don't rip. 2, they clean up really, really well. And 3, because they are 99.9% water, you can use them on everything. A lot of the wipes you get, if you would use it on a baby's face, they would break out really bad because of some of the chemicals in them. If you use them on baby's neck, they get, can get like yeast rashes and such. But these, since they are mostly water, you can use them anywhere, on anything, including yourself, or cleaning up the spit up you didn't catch on the spit up rag. Whatever, because they're all just water. So I enjoy those. These, and I'll link them in the description box below, because I'm going to be honest, I don't know the brand name. I have no idea what the brand name is. But these are changing mats, and they're real, like, they're thinner than a lot of the ones, like these. They're real thick and they don't bend very well, and they're kind of hard to tote around everywhere. But these are real thin. They just fold up real nicely, slide into the diaper bag, slide into your stroller. I lay them on my bed and change her there, or I lay them on the couch or the floor and change her there. And they're really, like, they're flimsy, but they're thick, so like nothing gets through it, which is really nice. My mom bought those for me, and I appreciate that. And then she bought some more for me because I really liked them. So that was very nice of her, and I have used them a lot. At least 12, 13 times a day, every day for the last 3 months. So that is my diaper changing stuff that I find essential. Now this one is a topic that's kind of more controversial. I do breastfeed. I've had 2 really tough times, and my middle daughter was super easy. So I always say you need to have a can of this on hand, because as much as people tote that breastfeeding is natural, and it is, natural doesn't always mean easy, and a lot of times it's not even possible. So in the middle of the night, when you can't get your baby to latch and you don't have anything stored up because you were planning on this easy breastfeeding journey, how are you going to feed your kid? you know? You're going to have that on hand if you end up having an issue with breastfeeding. So make sure you at least have one can on hand. The other thing that you need to have on hand is bottles. Now, 2 of my daughters prefer the ma'am bottles. That's what they choose to use. My oldest daughter preferred Dr. Brown's. The Tommy Tippy ones are really good too. You should have at least 3 or 4 different brands on hand. Just 1 bottle each. You don't have to go buy the big packs. Just 1 bottle each, different brands. Because if you're desperate and you're trying to get food in your baby's mouth and they're not taking certain ones, you're going to have to try a couple different ones to figure out what your baby prefers. And she preferred ma'ams for me this time around. Sorry, I was checking. I thought I didn't have the microphone on. Now, the other thing that this is the first time I've had, I didn't even know about it with the other 2, is the haaka. Now, I have an off-brand. It's called Nature Bond, but it works just as well. And you just flip this back, stick it on, squeeze it, stick it on, flip that up, and it catches all of your letdown on the other side. I have probably put close to 100 ounces of breast milk in my freezer with just this. You don't realize how much you're losing in the letdown while your baby's eating on the other side until you start trying to catch it. And just this has caught the majority of what I have in my freezer. I really don't have to pump that much. I am a stay-at-home mom, so I don't intend to have a big stash to go back to work. But I do have enough that I can leave the house without the baby, which has been nice this time. But on the same concept of pumping, I have a Spectra S2, and it's a really good pump. But I don't pump that much. So when I do go out of the house, I take the Medela Harmony with me. Excuse me. The Medela Harmony with me. It's just a hand pump. And in my personal opinion, and maybe it's just the way I use it, I actually get more out of the hand pump quicker than I do with the electronic pump. So maybe that's the brand, maybe it's settings. I'm not super good at pumping, so maybe that's why. But I enjoy the hand pump. I get a good bit out of that. The other thing you're going to want to have on hand is a variety of pacifiers. And there's a lot of people go, well, I'm not going to give them a pacifier. I'm not going to have that habit they have to break. And that's fine. You know, you do you. But for me, I've always been more able to soothe them when they can help me by soothing themselves with the pacifier. 2 of my 3 kids have preferred the ma'am brand. That's this one. This one's a silicone sensitive skin one. One of my kids, my oldest, preferred the Nooks. But my other 2 could never really do that. So they've all been able to do the ma'ams. They have this like a little bit rougher thing on the edge, and I think it helps their tongue keep it in. It still comes out a lot, but they're able to suck on it better than a lot of the other ones that we tried. So I've enjoyed that. That's been kind of an essential, that's been an essential thing. My kids call it the plug. She starts crying, we stick that in and it plugs it up. She doesn't cry anymore. So that is one of them. Now this one is probably not an essential for a lot of people, but it's actually an idea my husband came up with, and it's come in handy more times than I thought it would. So we have these. And they're just a little waterproof case. They have like the ring around them, the sealed ring around them. And inside I have changes of clothes, diapers, bottle, a blanket, bottles of water, and I have two of them. One of them for my middle and my youngest daughter, and one of them for my oldest, and like bottles and water bottles and such. And they are a width that I can just slide them under our seat. And whenever the inevitable happens and someone pees themselves or poops on themselves or pukes on themselves, I have a change of clothes. If something happens to the car, I have enough stuff in there to get us through the tow truck coming, someone coming to pick us up, whatever it is. And that has been not only just a weight off, but it's been nice to be able to just grab an extra change of clothes and put it in there for, you know, having around. You got to remember to change sizes as they size up if you don't happen to use them. But that has definitely been utilized multiple times, and I've enjoyed that. I will link the box below. I will actually link a lot of this below. I got pretty much everything off of Amazon. Quarantine, buy things. Anyway, the last thing is definitely not the least thing. Actually, it's not the last thing. There's one other thing I haven't talked about. But grape water. I can't get the camera to focus. Focus, camera. Focus on the grape water. Okay, it doesn't want to focus. But the grape water, I call it my magic hiccup juice. Because as soon as you give the baby the grape water, their hiccups are gone. And it's only not worked for hiccups maybe twice that I can think of. Not only that, but when their belly's a little sore from breastfeeding and you ate something they didn't like, or they ate big gulps and now have a lot of gas, it helps with that. It calms them down. Maybe just enough for you to get them to burp. It calms them down. I don't really know how grape water works, but I just know that it does, so it's something that I keep on hand. You'll notice that I don't have any kind of particular diaper rash cream. I don't use Desitin or A&D or any of that. For a while, I just used Lanolin that I used for me too. It's just a barrier to keep them from getting infected, or not infected, rashes. And if I don't use Lanolin, I also have Nivea cream, and I also just have coconut oil. As I said, my kids are really sensitive, and some of that stuff breaks them out more than it helps them. So I just use very simple things. Lanolin's just a pretty easy one because I always have it for me anyway. But there was one thing that I said I didn't talk about, and that is the swing slash bouncer that I have. And some people find their babies don't enjoy swings but enjoy bouncers. Some people find they enjoy swings but not bouncers. This one is both. It disconnects and you can just take the bouncer portion wherever it is you're going. She spends a lot of time on my kitchen table while I'm doing video editing or bills or whatever it is that I'm doing, eating. She swings a lot, takes naps in her swing, always supervised, but I've enjoyed that. I'll link that below for you. I'll give you a little picture, probably over here, of what it looks like. So that has been my newborn essentials. It's just been a lot of me rambling mostly, but this is what I find to be what I can't live without. There are a lot of things, and I could do a video on those, that are just nice to have. But these are the things that I find I cannot function without. And maybe this video will help one new mom to be go, okay, that's a little less overwhelming than it looks like. Because you go to make those registries and there's all kinds of stuff on there. You need this, you need this. Pick one of these. You have to have one of these. Pick this. You don't have to have all that stuff. These are the things that I find that I utilize more than I would consider just a nice thing. You don't have to have a nice squishy baby towel to wrap them up in after their bath. You can use a regular towel. It's not going to hurt them. But they are nice to have, and they're very absorbent. You don't have to have a stroller. You can just carry her, put her in a wrap, or him. We don't do hims in our family, apparently. So this has been my newborn essentials video, and I hope that it helped you in some way. Maybe eased off the stress of choosing what you need. And if you have any questions, please comment them below. I will be happy to answer them for you. The best that I can. I've only had 3 girls, so take it with a grain of salt. Enjoy your day, and I hope to see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more epic videos.